What we're going to be discussing is the COVID vaccine. So we all, and basically, so here's how we're going to do it. We're going to talk about how we feel about it, if we're going to get it, why we not going to get it. Because nobody that's actually in here, nobody has joined the actual show to actually discuss if they have gotten it, any side effects, things like that. So we can basically just talk about what we know about it, and then our own personal, reasons or whatever why we will get it, won't get it, things like that. So that's what we're gonna be talking about until we end up doing the next show. So, quick story. I get to work on was it Tuesday or Wednesday. Walking the office like I always do. I usually just don't speak to nobody, ain't nobody around me. And they was talking like right next to like where my desk is. There's like two people over there just talking. So I walk in, one of the property managers is like, he's like, "Hey Everett." I was like, "Hello." And I'm just, walk to my desk. I don't know what they was talking about, but she just automatically just turns and is like, "Hey, have you got your COVID shot yet?" I'm like, "Bitch, what?"
Like, yeah.
And then she goes, I was like, "No." She's like, "Want me to schedule it for you?" No. And so she keeps talking, and then like a couple minutes later she comes back. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was scheduling for my hubby and for another coworker, and I was just wondering if you wanted me to schedule one for you." "Nah, I'm good. Thanks, though." So I was like,
No.
I'm just thinking, I was like, y'all just got the audacity to just come out of nowhere and just ask people, if they want to get it or how they got it. It's like, because I've had a conversation with somebody before in the office. They were talking about, stuff opening back up, people getting the vaccines and whatnot. And she's like, "Are you going to get it?" It's like, if you mind me asking. I was like,
I look like I do mind you asking, actually. Shut the fuck up.
and so, but I was like, well, I guess it'd be my opportunity to just let them know. And I was like, no. She's like, "Why not?" I was like, "It's not a vaccine." And she's like, "Well, I mean, she didn't really have much to say about it." And I was like, and so we was just kind of going back and forth. And I was like, I mean, I get how a lot of people are trying to get it, because it's something that they rolled out real quick. It's something that it's emergency. So that means it was produced real quick. You don't know what's going to happen with it. There's been no testing on it and things like that. And me being diabetic, I was like, I'm not taking no chances in being a test dummy on this vaccine. I don't care if they got 2 or 3 different strands of it. For one, from what y'all know about vaccines generally have a little bit of the whatever is in it, right?
Yeah.
How is it called a vaccine? If that's the case, if it has a little bit of it, how do you have pieces of COVID in it?
Exactly. And see that's the intricate part that nobody's fucking considering. They're not realizing that, okay, if this shit is like directly a certain piece of coding, like a viral coding, right? That we can like easily. So in other words, like you call that viral isolation, right? Isolation. So which means that here's the exact problem, so we can figure out a solver for that, whatever, right? But oh my God, I'm so excited, I lost my thought. So, but the thing about it really isn't what in the vaccine. There isn't the virus in the vaccine. What it is it's a DNA DNA coder. So when that shit goes into your arm or goes into your bloodstream, it uses your mRNA to re-encode your DNA. But it only does it for a certain amount of time anyways. This is new technology. This is the first time this shit's ever been used upon a mass population. So, which is why that at least I know for Johnson Johnson's been taken off the table for the most part right now, but for Pfizer, they just came out yesterday saying you have to take up to 3 doses now.
Yeah, I've seen that. A year later.
Yeah, and then what's the Moderna?
Moderna.
I That's a skill too for now. But all this is just like, okay, we're gonna be stuck into this ongoing loop. Okay, let's because then they say at first, right, in the beginning of all this shit, that we're only gonna have to deal with this shit for 2 weeks and everything get back to normal. Okay, 2 weeks turned to what, a month and a fucking year now, right? A year and a month now. And then right before the vaccines rolled out, they said to us that, okay, if most people take the vaccine, we'll be back to normal. Oh, now they're saying, oh, you can take the vaccine, you have to wear your mask, you have to do all this, and that. And all these fucking Caucasian liberals, which sounds like that Everett is dealing with at work, are like, oh, I got the vaccine, you move together for you? Let's do it together. Let's battle the virus together. Let's take it down. Let's take it down today. Like, get the fuck out of here. Simple-minded motherfuckers. It's so irritating, man.
Bro, the thing is, you know, where are all the studies at? Like, where are the studies that show like what would happen in 10 years? What's going to happen in 15 years? What's going to happen in 50 years? We don't know this shit. Like, in the government has a history of testing on people without us not knowing. Like, they done it to cows, they done it to black men. Like, the list goes on. They've done it to black females, all that shit.
Thomas, I can answer that question for you. So back when this shit first came out, I posted this thing on my Facebook, and it was about Event 201, right? Yeah. Event 201 was private government sector simulation done, right, at Johns Hopkins Hospital, funded by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, right? And what they did, this happened October 9th, this happened in mid-October, I want to say October 9th, 18th, 19th, one of those days, of 2019, right before the shit kicked off. And it simulated a fucking coronavirus and what the fuck is happening exactly right now.
Which is kind of weird for me because like, coronavirus was really a big thing. It's never been like something that we actually had to worry about. And then for them to say, oh, it came from China, because China had it first, was kind of weird. And then like I said, like that vaccine came out way too fast. How did you guys know what stuff worked with the vaccine that works with this vaccine? Like what is in this vaccine? I want to know everything that's in this vaccine.
You can't find everything. That's the thing, because when they originally released it, they released like a certain amount, so you couldn't get all the actual ingredients that was in it. But they did.
Well, that's our right to know what the fuck you sticking it in people. Like, are you serious?
No,
like, me personally, I'm not gonna go get this corona shot or this COVID shot just because they say, oh, it'll help you get better. Like, no, fuck you. How do you know it's gonna make me get better?
Bro,
how do you know this?
If this is why I'm trying to say, like, everybody, I've been being called conspiracy theories for the last year. I mean, y'all been being called conspiracy theories for a lot of shit, but specifically from the last, since COVID popped up, our news bullshit. Why? Because this has been in the plans for so long. Like, if you understand anything about Agenda 21, Agenda 2130, and especially like, it seems like something happens every 19 years, right? Perfect example.
It's more than 19 years. Or less than that.
Let me finish. 1982, the war against drugs, right?
Yeah.
19 years later, the towers go down. Then we got the war against terror. 19 years later, in 2020, it's the war against germs.